Beautiful friends and family, shalom, shalom, shalom. Much love to all of you guys out there. Coming to you live from my little itty bitty round table. Out here in the middle of these beautiful jungles. In this land that our Creator has given to us, sitting underneath the firmament. On these flat plains. With our Creator looking in. Watching His creation. Seeing what they would do, seeing how they perform, seeing how they operate, and seeing if any of them will do the words that He has told us to do. And for the small remnant of us that are out there, much love to you. To those who keep the laws of our Creator, according to His beautiful Son, Messiah Yahushua, you guys are my family. And so from my family to your family, much love to you guys. I can't thank you enough for being a part of this reading. Guys, we are full steam into the second book of Ezras. And for those who have never watched any of this particular presentation, you don't need to get caught up on this because I will give you the cliff notes here in just a second. It is a great reading. It is a beautiful reading. It is part of the Apocrypha. Now, the word Apocrypha actually means hidden. And inside of these hidden books, we have been told a tremendous amount of truth. Now, a lot of the books of the Apocrypha were actually in scriptures. They were in the canon long before the powers that be decided that wasn't part of their doctrine. Before they decided that there were certain things that we shouldn't know or we shouldn't understand. Things in the book of Enoch that very clearly tell us that we're on some sort of a domed flat system. That we're not spinning around like a bunch of monkeys a million miles an hour one way and thousands of miles another way as we hurl through the solar system. And as our stars that stay our stars and our constellations, that they stay consistent. Because we learn in books like Enoch that all of these things are listening to the word of our Creator and they're keeping their patterns. Just like that sun that we can depend upon that comes out of a gate. One of the different gates that comes every single day, that comes every single night, the exit gates. It is one of these things that we have all of these deceivers that have told us all these lies, and it is in these lies that they manipulate the people and they rip the people off. Now, we touched upon NASA last time, and there was a lot of great feedback because there's a lot of you guys with eyes to see and ears to hear. And you can see very, very clearly that NASA is a lying group of people that are extorting almost $60 million from American taxpayers every single day. As they give you CGI, computer-generated graphics that tell you what they pretend to have up there. They have these so-called Mars rovers. And I uploaded a video on these channels the other day, and it was from a P900 or 9000, I believe, is from a camera that they took off the market because there was just a little bit too much truth that was coming into it. Because with these cameras, you could actually zoom up into these airplanes that are sitting there dumping chemical dumps on us day in and day out, polluting our lands, polluting our waters, polluting our lungs. And you could sit there and observe them blowing out plumes of smoke. And you could also observe the moon, which according to scriptures is a light. It's for seasons, for times. And so with that, you could also observe the stars, and you could observe all the planets. And all these things that they say are up there that are round and doing things that, they think the whole system is round, but yet you can see the stars and the planets as they sit there and sparkle, as they sit there and blast back and forth elements of light and prisms and beauty, twinkling stars, right? This is the hands of our Creator. This is the genius of our Creator who is able to make a self-sustaining life form planet for us that is alive by all accounts. Right? The air that we breathe is generated by the plants that are around us. The plants take the carbon dioxide that we breathe out and they breathe that in. And it is a perfect ecosystem But yet you have these people that are always trying to deceive us with this climate hoax, telling us, things are getting hot or things are getting cold. When you look at the actual cycles of the history, and it's all the same. It's all been the same. There's hot sometimes, there's cold sometimes, and that's just the way it is. But yet they want to tax the carbon footprint. They want to tax your very breath that you breathe, because it's never good enough. Taxes just aren't good enough. Extorting everybody for everything that they make just isn't good enough. They have to make sure that what you're breathing is going to be taxed as well. And this is the world that we live in. It is a deceptive world full of demons and devils that have overtaken people. I believe most of the politicians are demons. I believe most of them have completely been infiltrated to where they're only a shell of a human setup. And what they had before was humanity. And prior, they've done too many seances. They've done too many blood sacrifices. They've drank the blood of the children. And after a while, their souls have become black and their minds have become corrupted. And all they are trying to do is destroy humanity in a very bad way. And now you have wars and rumors of wars. You have Israel in day 5 or 6 of their war against Iran. And what most people don't see, because they're watching the mainstream media, is that Iran is kicking their butts. What you're seeing, because you can't see, is Israel tries to hide all this infliction that they have caused by their own hands. Tel Aviv is getting smashed up, but yet they won't show anybody, right? They censor all of this stuff so people don't know. But yet it's very, very clear when you look at the alternative media that it's not just a one-way battle like they want to do. And what are they trying to do? Well, they cried home to Daddy Trump. Daddy Trump is sitting there telling them that he's going to destroy people and that he's going to drop bombs on them, that he's going to get in this war. And this is exactly what I talked about a while ago. This was before the war even started. The day before it started, I did a video. I said, this isn't looking good, guys, and this will not be good. And so when you are looking at a genocidal maniac, Netanyahu, and then you have a guy like Trump who just thinks he's all completely power hungry, getting North America in this war is a very, very bad thing. This is something that we don't want, we don't need, and it's only going to destabilize North America even more. But yet you have Benjamin Netanyahu, who for 30 some years has been saying, every 3 years that Iran's really close to a nuclear bomb. From years ago. This is what they're saying. I upload a video all over the place about this agenda that has been going on. There's also videos on 153 News that 153news.net that give a exact timeline of all of the times that he has been saying this. And guys, this is just like weapons of mass destruction, right? Oh, they got to be somewhere. Oh, they got to be here. Oh, maybe they're there. And at the end of the day, we took out a sovereign country of Iraq and ended up hurting all of the people there, hurting all of our people. Now we have more generations of war vets that are all jacked up, with people with PTSD, people with no limbs, people whose lives will never ever be the same because we went and fought a war for no reason at all. Another war. It's the war machine. It's what Mystery Babylon is all about. And as you see the hands of Mystery Babylon that is taking out the world in the military-industrial complex, a lot of us live in fear. But you know what? We don't need to live in fear. These things have to happen. They're going to happen. And just like our Messiah said, they will. And so what we can do is we can be aware of the signs of the times. Last time in the second book of Ezras, we talked very clearly about the prophecy of the three-headed eagle and the big head and the heads that were eating the other heads and the wings that were taking out the other wings, and all this power, control, and structure and all this stuff. And now we have just straight up war. And so, guys, there's nothing to fear. We have the hand of our Creator, and there's legions of messengers that are here to protect us. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to go through conflict. That doesn't mean that our houses aren't going to get taken, that we're going to lose everything we have, because they're pushing this digital currency. They're pushing. Trump is gun-ho that either in September or August he's going to stop physical checks from happening, because everybody needs to be in this digital system. And this is what it's going to. And we can't stop it. It's just like artificial intelligence. There's no way to stop the technology, and every single day is what 10 years ago was like, because they are advancing day in and day out with all of this. You have evil deep state style people like Palantir that are now running artificial intelligence, they've used it to kill people. It's just a very, very bad place. But guys, there is nothing to fear. Nothing to fear. We have the armament of our Creator. We have the strength of Scriptures. And for those who are Torah keepers, those who keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator, we're in a different realm. We're not even a part of this government. We're not even a part of these psychopaths and all of these institutions of government that are always out trying to kill everybody off. We don't serve these countries. We don't pledge our allegiance to anybody. We pledge our allegiance to the somebody, Yahuwah, and his son Yahushua. It is a beautiful combo. It's a father and son combo of the greatest government with the greatest army ever to have been assembled. We don't need these armies of steel and iron and bullets and gunpowder. We have messengers that can wreak havoc. We have Messiah Yahushua, who has the power that we haven't seen him wield, the kind of power that he's coming with. And for all of these people that believe in this Jesus that is a soft-spoken, loving everybody, forgiving everybody, rebel that has nailed his dad's laws to the cross, that's a facade. That is a fake individual. That person doesn't exist. Messiah Yahushua comes in the name of his Father. He comes in the name of the Torah. He walks the Torah, and he walked the Torah perfectly. And he says, if you love me, keep my commands. And so if we truly love our Messiah and truly love our Elohim Most High, why wouldn't we want to get in line with the greatest government that is coming online that we have ever seen? We've been tricked. We've been deceived. We know what this world is, and we know what this world has to offer, and it's trash. It's garbage. We have hundreds of thousands of different religious cults and satanic religions. They're all satanic. When you don't have a preference, when you do not have a foundation of the Torah, that religion is satanic. And that ticks people off. That makes them hot behind the ears. That makes people angry. Because all of a sudden you have taken their bias and their programming and you have threatened it. And I don't mean to threaten people's bias, but we've heard all these preachers and all these guys for years and years and years. Everybody with this tickle me good feeling doctrine of demons. Once saved, always saved. Trinity this, Trinity that. Jesus always will never, you will never ever not be saved. When in fact Matthew 7 says, depart from me, you who work lawlessness. And all those people that he's telling that to have very clearly thought they knew the Jesus. They thought they knew the Son of the Most High. But he said, depart from me, you who are Torahless, you who work iniquity. Now, how do we do this? How do we not work iniquity? Well, we don't work iniquity because we are Torah bound. We have taken the first 5 books of scriptures and made this our foundational standpoint of life. We have made it everything that is and everything that is to be, and we walk this. And when we fall away from this, when we break the commandments of the Most High, we are guilty. Our conscience hurts, we hurt, we understand that we're tempting our Creator. Because when you look at the Torah commands, 158 or so that we can keep today, they're simple. They're great regulations, they're great rules, they're smart. They're things that only dummies would want to throw in the ditch and say they don't keep. And I don't say that lightly, because we know that every single religion has no laws. They have no moral compass. They have the dogmas and the traditions of their churches, of what they think they believe, and that's why every single religion has a set of doctrine that goes and opposes the scriptures. When you worship on Sunday, you're opposing the scriptures. When you eat pig and clams and shellfish and lobster and horses and rhinos, you're going against scriptures. You're going against what is smart. And so if you want to be on the smart side of history and the right side of history and the Kodesh side of history, guys, it's all about Torah keeping. It's all about keeping this Torah, walking this Torah, knowing this Torah, waking up to the Torah, going to bed to the Torah, writing it on your doorpost, writing it everywhere. And guys, as you can see, I get excited when I read this stuff with you, right? I get excited. This is not an act. This is not something that is just, it's because it's exciting. I have seen the world. I have lived nearly 50 years in these depraved world of sin and darkness and occults and Satanism and Luciferianism and Freemasons and all of these horrible, horrible people that have chosen Satan over the hands of our Creator. And so it excites me when I'm able to have a doctrine that is in scriptures that can be proven. And that is why I am reading with all of you guys today, so that we can all find this path forward. I'm not here for the masses. I am here for the very small minority, because like in the book of 2nd Ezras, the people that are saved are a drop of water compared to a wave. That's hardly anybody, guys. Scriptures, Matthew 7 says most people aren't saved. We have this little gate. We have destruction to the left and to the right, and most people can't make the narrow path. This is where the remnant of our Creator can walk this narrow path, where we can love our neighbor as ourselves. We can love our Creator. We can love His Son, and we can obey His Torah, because we need to be loyal. We need to be loyal to our Creator, who gave us life, liberty, and the true pursuit of happiness, which is walking the Torah. There's no other way, right? You can't have it any other way. You can't have one day that you listen to the scriptures and you don't do anything. This is why we give Yah Scriptures away for free. This is why we have given tens of thousands of free downloads away. It's beyond the point where I can even come close to counting. That is how many downloads have been given out. And that is what the power of our Creator is all about. The word was never to be held and to never to be given away. It was freely given to us, and it needs to be freely given to the rest of the world. And so for those of you guys with eyes to see, ears to hear, guys, it is all about scriptures, and it's about time that we align our lives and the lives of our family, and we get ready to rock and roll, because the times of darkness are upon us. The end is close. We don't know when, but we do know that we are in a time of destruction, and a couple of bad moves in this Arab Christian war right now. And it's not even Christian, because the Jews aren't, the so-called Jews of today are not Christians. They hate the Christians. They simply use the Goyim Christians as their pawns. And you have all of these Christian religions that are like, wow, if we bless Israel, we'll be blessed. When that doesn't even say anything like that, when that has out of context, completely whacked, but yet all these little preachers and their 501c3s tell them so. And so they're like giving their 10% to the preachers, as they're like, please bless Israel. And when you look at Israel, Israel has abortion clinics countrywide. Hopefully some of them are getting blown off the map, as Iran is wreaking some havoc. Both sides are wreaking some havoc, to the point where Donald Trump is going to probably bring the United States into this war, at which point all hell is going to break loose, guys. It's not a good time for society. It's not a good time for our world, but it's getting us closer to the end. And getting us closer to the end is going to give us a way out, right? And whether this way out is us getting killed, losing everything, being homeless, being in prison, losing our heads, losing our lives, whatever it is. Guys, this is only temporary, right? There's not a pound of flesh that's worth saving, because we need to guard our soul. Our soul is the asset of our life. And when we do not guard our soul, that's a problem. Guys, right before you, you're looking at Yah Scriptures. You can go to yahscriptures.com. Thank you to everybody who has donated for the Apple app. We are less than $1,000 away from having it fully funded. And like I said, I did this on faith. And the coder guy told me today, he's like, I'm just about to finish this and upload this to the Apple Store. So I would say inside of 10 days, this is going to be on the Apple Store and available to absolutely everybody out there. And guys, this is all of you guys that did this. all of you guys that are out there made this happen. You know, Boss Clan, we had our hand in getting the Big Blue out and getting the rest of the digital scriptures out. And it's all of you guys that have helped us get the Android app out and also the Apple app. So Yah's people are amazing. And somebody donated a large amount the other day, and I told my wife, I said, the people of Yah are amazing. It's just simply amazing people that are out there that are there. And this is worldwide, right? Any country that speaks English will be able to have a Yah Scriptures download. You don't have to buy anything. All these countries are, Big Blue is a 7-pound book, right? What you're looking at right here is you're looking at Big Blue. Big Blue is 7 pounds. It is 3,153 pages, is 14.5 font. That means it's good for vision impaired people. You can read and read and read and read. And we're seeing some videos come in from TikTok on people that have highlighted these books, that they have notes in all these books. There's pencils in all these. They're writing this and making notes, and it is astounding. It is astounding to see all you guys use this. And I can't thank my Creator enough for even allowing this sinful, dreadful person like myself to ever touch his word. I am not worthy to ever be a part of this amazing thing in this life. But you know what? We freed this from the hands of the Hallelujah Scriptures, who were grifting all of the Torah keeping people forever. So guys, Big Blue is still available. It is a limited edition print. You will want to get this if you have the ability, but if not, just go to yahscriptures.com and download it. We get emails from all over the world, and we always direct them to the digital downloads. We're hoping someday that we're going to be able to help those who need the physical copy. Right now, our ministry is with the prisons, and we have been able to get in hundreds and hundreds of scriptures into our brothers and sisters in chains. We have been able to change lives. There's people that are reading scriptures, that are loving scriptures, that are seeking our Creator, that are stuck in these prison cells, and they have nothing to do but read their scriptures, and they're coming out strong. They're coming out wise. They're coming together with Torah-keeping groups inside of these prisons, and we've never had that before, right? There's never been a system that is able to have a free Bible printing press that gets to our brothers and sisters in chains. So for everybody that's out there is able to buy a Big Blue, that gives us the opportunity to ship these scriptures into prisons for free. So much love to all you guys. Let us get into our reading, 2nd Ezras. Here we are. Now, let us roll. Chapter 1 of 2nd Ezras. It was the rebuke and rejection of Yisrael. Yahuwah rebukes Yisrael for their disobedience and rejection of his law. The same thing that we will all be judged upon Judgment Day for disobeying the law. You might love a guy named Jesus. You might say you love him with all your heart, but yet you reject what his dad says. That's rejection of the overall government. That's rejecting the Creator of the universe. The Son of the universe did not come for those who don't keep the laws. He came to help people understand that the laws are good for all times, all peoples, all generations, and that he kept the laws, and so can we. Despite being chosen, they turned away. So he will now choose others, those of the Gentiles. And guys, the Gentiles are only a name that when you come into covenant with our Creator, when you start obeying the laws, the statutes, and commandments, you are no longer a Gentile. You are a child of the Most High. You are a Hebrew individual. You have crossed over from death to life, and now you are on the path to the kingdom. And it's with fear and trembling that we will work for salvation. Yahuwah says, I sent the prophets, but you refused them. And he ends chapter 1 with Yahuwah declaring, I will not spare them anymore. Chapter 2 is the future and glory comfort. Comfort to the righteous and a promise of paradise for those who endure. A symbolic vision of a mother, Zion, raising children who are eventually crowned. In chapter 2, we have Yahushua the Son appears and gives crowns to the faithful. A prophetic image and reward for the obedient. Chapter 3 is Ezra's complaint. Ezra questions Yahuwah. Why allow Babylon to prosper if Israel is the chosen? And guys, again, we're not talking the fakers, those who have come in and put on their penguin suits, and those who are pretending to be Yah's chosen people when in fact they are the synagogue of Satan. We're talking about those who are obedient to the first 5 books of scriptures, and that only. We don't need oral Torah. We don't need satanic Kabbalah and satanic Zohar and things of this nature. That's not good doctrine. In chapter 2 or 3, Yahuwah recounts the creation, the flood, and Yahuwah is dealing with Adam, Abram, and Moshe. And then Ezra pleads, why did you deliver us to the wicked? Chapter 4, we have Uriel, and Uriel responds with spiritual insight. Man cannot understand Yahuwah's ways, as they are beyond human comprehension. Sorry, my dogs are out there, and I'm hoping my son will take care of my dogs. Parables are given fire, weight, measure to explain man's limited knowledge. Ezra is told to trust in the Most High's timing. Chapter 5 is the signs of the end, signs of the end times, chaos, injustice, women birthing monsters, truth hidden. Ezra laments the sinfulness of man, and a vision of a woman mourning, which transitions to Zion, sorrows over her people. Yahuwah promises a remnant will be saved. This is what we're trying to do. We are trying to become this remnant. Esau and Jacob's prophecy of chapter 6. The Most High reveals Esau is the end of the world, and Yaakov, Israel, is the beginning. Time is measured, and the end is near. The world will face plagues, famine, wars, great suffering before the kingdom comes. This is why when people ask me all the time, how close do I think we are to the end? We're getting there, but we still have some darkness to come, right? It's going to be a crescendo of the darkness. It's going to be a beginning of the end. It's going to be something that none of us want to see and want to live through, but the remnant is going to have to do this. We're going to have to be tough. We're going to need a tough, stiff upper lip. We're going to have to be resolved. And a lot of things that happen to us, we might go, why is Yah allowing this to happen? We're in testing, guys. This is testing land, testing season, testing life. This is why we are here. We're not here for an easy cruise. This is not something that's simple and easy. This is something where we need to understand that our Creator has given us everything and asks us not a lot. It's not a lot to keep Torah. It's something that smart people do because the Torah is brilliant. It is an amazing thing. And so when you want to be part of the smart dudes team, that's all about keeping Torah. Chapter 7 talks about the judgment and the narrow path. It details the vision of the afterlife and judgment. And that was an incredible read, guys. Incredible. 2 paths, the narrow for the righteous and the broad for the wicked. Only a few will be saved. The righteous must endure. There is powerful imagery, fire, water, judgment seat. The fate of the wicked is destruction. The righteous receive peace and light. But to get to this peace and light, guys, we're going to go through trials and tribulations. We understand that Hasatan, the devil, Lucifer himself, hates Torah keepers. Why? Because he has rejected the Most High's laws. He's rejected the Most High, which is why he was cast out of the Shamaim. Chapter 8, the fate of the many versus the few. Ezra laments how few are saved. Uriel affirms the world was made for many, but the world to come for few. There's an emphasis on humility, righteousness, and enduring suffering. Same thing I'm talking about, right, guys? We have to be hands up, chin down, ready to fight the fight, ready to endure whatever it is that we are going to do. Now, chapter 9 has earthquakes, uprising, and disorder signal the end. So here we are. We have earthquakes all the time, right? I used to monitor daily earthquakes, and it was about 10 years ago that I was looking at the earthquakes every single day, doing reports on them, and it was going from like 60 a day, then we went up to 80, then we're in the hundreds. Now there's earthquakes all over, right? We have earthquakes all over. We have had some massive earthquakes down here. It just rocked our place. It just, the house was shaking, we were shaking. These things must come, right? And the disorder signals the end. And a call for repentance and separation from the ungodly. That is our duties, right? We are to separate ourselves from the rest of the people, right? We don't hang out at Christmas. We don't hang out at Thanksgiving. We don't celebrate Father's Day or Mother's Day or things like that. That's just all part of the pagan culture. We don't celebrate Easter. We don't have New Year's. The New Year's Day they celebrate is not a new year for us, right? It's January 1st. That's not our New Year's. We have a different calendar. Our Creator has given us all sorts of different things. And then Ezra is told to write down these revelations to the wise. And so here we are, all of these things, and hopefully we are the wise remnant. Hopefully we can be counted amongst those who are considered wise. And wisdom is a gift from our Creator, and is one of these things that when you pray for wisdom, our Creator will give it to us. Now, chapter 10, Ezra sees a woman mourning her only son who dies on his wedding day. She is revealed to be the Zion personified, weeping for her lost children. The angel tells Ezra that the Most High has not forgotten Zion and will restore her. A reminder of future glory for Jerusalem and those who love the Most High. Those who love the Most High, right? Have you nailed the laws to the crosses? That's not loving the Most High. That's doing what the pagans do, what the Gentiles do, what those who are godless do. Worshiping on a Sunday. That's what the pagans do. That's not loving our Creator. That's not lining up in obedience and doing what we should be doing, which is taking a full day off, right? It's an amazing commandment every 7 days. And there's those who are out there that are in calendars that will change to an 8-day week or a 6-day week or sometimes even 9 days. Right? And that in of itself is breaking Torah because we have a 7-day routine. We know every 7 days is when we are to keep the Shabbat. And so when we get outside of 7s and 50s and we think somehow that we have to realign our calendar, I can't see that in the scriptures. But I'm not going to chuck rocks at anybody because as long as I believe that we are serving our Most High and doing everything that we can do with our understanding and our wisdom that we should be praying for, then at some point our Messiah is going to come and figure this out for us, right? He's going to say, oh, hey, you guys right there, this is how you should be done. And I don't think any of us have this right? For us and our family, the Boss Clan, we go nowadays by the Zadiki calendar. It is, again, others will toss rocks at us and hate us. And, you have all these different calendars and all these different people that see it in different ways. I have not been able to find a calendar that lines up with all of the scriptures and the Apocrypha. And then you have those who are outside on these other calendars and they hate the Apocrypha because it throws a wrench in the machine. Now, chapter 11, before we head on to the next one, this was huge. It was one of the most prophetic chapters in all of scriptures. Ezra sees a great eagle with multiple heads and wings. The eagle represents a last wicked kingdom. The heads represent rulers. The wings are subordinate powers. One small head rises last and rules longer than the others. And the eagle speaks arrogantly and exalts itself against Yahuwah. Now, what do you have? You have all of my family, all my friends, everybody, a lot of you guys that listen to this are in North America. Now, I know that you guys aren't part of this beast system, right? You aren't part of these governments that have taken the 10 Commandments out of all the schools that no longer allow you to worship our Creator openly. They have after-school Satan clubs. You have all of these trannies and all this other kind of insane madness, and it's crazy, right? What you don't have is you don't have people that are Torah-based. You don't have government, legislators, senators, all these people that love the Torah, love the ways of our Creator. Because if we had a government like this, the United States would thrive for a very, very long time. But it was built upon Freemasonry. There's Freemason lodges all over. You don't make it in movies, Hollywood, the music industry, unless you are into Luciferianism, right? Unless you're willing to drink the blood of the children, have a sacrifice done to you. That's all what it's about. Final pieces. A lion, the Messiah figure, rebukes and destroys the eagle, signifying Yahuwah's justice and return to his kingdom. All right, so let's get into this reading, guys. Let us do this. This is Yah Scriptures. This is the Android app. This is exactly what the Apple app is going to look like. Same thing, tit for tat. I've seen it. I've seen all the books. I've seen all the glossary. I've seen everything as it comes out. You will have the Torah commands right here, right? You will have all of the 158 commands that we can keep today to the very best of our ability of documenting this and scribing these commands out along with the verses. You will have all 103 books, the beautiful books of scriptures the Sora, all of these other ones, and then you have the Apocrypha, and the Apocrypha is simply amazing. And you don't have anything in the Apocrypha that goes against the commandments of our Creator. A lot of people will throw rocks at us. We get hate emails every once in a while from people that are like, "Oh, Adam and Eve, that's got to be fake." And when you read it, it doesn't always. It's not a fake thing. It's not something that It's very, very clear, and there's definitely discrepancies from things that we know. But when you read the account of Genesis and Adam and the lineage, there's things we don't know. We don't know how. We don't know the women that were created along with the men. We don't know a lot of stuff, whereas we end up getting this inside of the books of Adam and Eve. And so, guys, as we roll into this, here we are right here. Okay, 2nd Ezras 12. And it came to be, while the lion spoke these words to the eagle, I looked, and see, the head that remained and the 4 wings appeared no more. And the 2 went forward and appointed themselves to reign. And their reign was short, but full of unrest. And I looked, and see, they appeared no more, and the whole body of the eagle was burned, so that the earth was in great fear. Then I woke from great fear out of the troubled trance of my mind, and said to my spirit, See, you have done this to me, because you search out the ways of the Most High. Now, there's a lot of stuff to take in just on this first little piece right here, right? Verse 3 on this, it very clearly shows the end of the eagle, right? And, at present, we know that North America is an eagle. And so this is why, I try not to fear, but I do fear the U.S. getting into this Iran war that Israel has done at the behest of the United States, at the behest of the EU. It's one of these things that, the whole body of the eagle was burned so that the earth was in great fear, right? We have a lot of stories about Mystery Babylon. We have heard in scriptures about the end, and it's just not a good thing. And this is why I say don't fear, guys, right? Even those of you who are stuck in Mystery Babylon, those who are stuck in the United States of America, I believe that our Creator is going to send His messengers for you. That doesn't mean you're not going to get hurt. That doesn't mean bad things aren't going to happen. It's going to happen worldwide. There is not a country, I believe, that is safe. There are some definitely that are safer than others. But at the end of times, the Babylon system is all around us, right? We live down here in Central America, and the Catholics have taken over. There's idols everywhere. There's the Western culture is everywhere. People are wearing Nike shirts and Adidas shirts and all these other things down here. It's a Western culture world. And so you can't really get away from it. And so there's no reason to live in fear. There's a reason to get some lentils and to stock up on things like lentils, non-corruptible things that will save you. But it's not something to dwell on and to make your life shorter, because we know that worry and fret and weariness and regret are things that are not Kodesh. We need to understand the power of our Creator is beyond all of this. And as little humans, little specks on this beautiful plains, it's easy to get scared. It's easy to get nervous. And, I'm preaching to the choir here, right? I do sit and dwell about a lot of things and wonder and worry and observe. That's why we have sites like 153news.net, which is the very last uncensored platform that's anywhere left. And, there's a lot of you guys that I know have gone there. There's a lot of people that talk about Yahuwah on there. But there's also a tremendous amount of godless heathen and pagans that are on there as well. And there's always the flat earth debate. There's always all these debates about all of this stuff. And you got to kind of chew the meat and spit out the bones and understand that there's a lot of different personalities on there. Continue on 5. Yet see, I am weary in my mind and very weak in my spirit, and there is little strength in me for the great fear for which I was afflicted this night. Seeing the end, right? The end of times. Therefore, I now plead to the Most High that He shall comfort me to the end. And I said, O Yahuwah, who reigns, if I have found favor before your eyes, and if I am made right with you before many others, and if my prayer indeed comes up before your face, encourage me then, and show me, your servant, the interpretation and clear meaning of this fearful vision, that you may fully comfort my being. For you have judged me worthy to show me the last days. And he said to me, this is the interpretation of the vision. The eagle, which you saw come up from the sea is the rain, which was seen in the vision of your brother Daniel. But it was not explained to him. Therefore, I now declare it to you. See, the day shall come that a rain shall rise upon the earth, and it shall be feared above all rains that were before it. Now, we had the Romans, and the Romans were tough. The Romans took over a lot of stuff. But you have a nuclear-armed North America who spends the majority of its money under the military-industrial complex, right? We have more kind of weapons with Palantir, Raytheon, all of these drones, all of these bombers, bombs, mother of all bombs. I mean, there's nothing that the America doesn't have when it comes to weaponry. And they're always pushing all of these things forward, and they're always pumping up all of this stuff, and right, they're always out flexing, right? Like, who can take the hammer of the world? Who is able to fight against this kind of thing? So there we have, a rain shall rise up on earth, and it shall be feared above all the rains that were before it. And 12 sovereigns shall reign in it, one after another, of which the second shall begin to reign, and shall have more time than any of the 12. This is what the 12 wings signify, which you saw. As for the voice which you heard speak, and that you saw to not go out from the heads, but from the midst of his body, this is the interpretation. At the time of that rain, great struggle shall arise, and it shall stand in danger of failing. Nevertheless, it shall not fall then, but shall be restored again to its beginning. And as you saw the 8 small wings underneath clinging to its wings, this is the interpretation. 8 sovereigns shall arise within it, whose time shall be short, and their years swift. And 2 of them shall perish, the middle of its time approaching. 4 shall be kept until their ends begin to approach, but 2 shall be kept unto the end. And as you saw 3 heads resting, this is the interpretation. In the last days, the Most High shall raise up 3 reigns, and in this shall renew many matters. And they shall have the reign of the earth, and of those who dwell in it, with much oppression above all those who were before them. Therefore they are called the heads of the eagle. For these are they who shall accomplish its wickedness, and who shall complete its latter end. And when you saw the great head appear no more, it signifies that one of them shall die on his bed, but with pain. As for the 2 that remain, they shall be slain with the sword. For the sword of the one shall devour the other, but in the end it shall fall through the sword itself. And as you saw 2 wings under the wings passing over the head that is on the right side, this signifies that these are they whom the Most High has kept to the end. This is the short reign, full of trouble, as you saw. And the lion whom you saw rising up out of the forest, roaring and speaking to the eagle and rebuking it for its unrighteousness with all the words which you have heard. This is Hamashiach, whom the Most High has kept for them and for their wickedness unto the end. He shall reprove them and shall reproach them for their cruelty. For he shall stand them before him alive in judgment, and shall rebuke them and reprove them. For he shall deliver the rest of my people with kindness, those who have been scattered from my borders, and he shall make them joyful until the coming of the day of judgment, of which I have spoken to you from the beginning. This is the dream that you saw, and these are the interpretations. Only you have been approved to know this secret of the Most High. Therefore write all these that you have seen in a book, and hide them, and teach them to the wise of the people, whose hearts you know may understand and guard these secrets. But wait here for yourself, yet 7 days more. We're at 30 days right now, right? 28 days. That it may be shown you whatever pleases the Most High to declare to you. And with that, he went his way. And it came to be, when all the people saw that the 7 days had passed, and I had not come again into the city, they all gathered together from the least to the greatest, and came to me and said, In what have we offended you? And what evil have we done against you, that you leave us and sit here in this place? Of all the Neviim, only you are left as a cluster of the vineyard, as a candle in a dark place, and as a haven or ship preserved from the storm. Now, these are all the people that Ezra was leading, right? Leading them out of Babylon. Ezra was the leader, the man, and he disappears. Now he's out 30 days, heading out there. People are freaking out. Are not the evils which have come upon us enough? If you forsake us, how much better it would have been for us if we had also been burned in the midst of Zion. For we are no better than those who died there. And they wept with a loud voice. Then I answered them and said, Take courage, O Yisrael, and do not be grieved, you house of Yaakov. For the Most High has remembered you, and the Almighty has not forgotten you in your trial. As for me, I have not forsaken you, neither have I departed from you, but have come to this place to pray for the desolation of Zion, and that I might seek kindness for the humiliation of your Mikdash. And now everyone, make your way home, and after these days I shall come to you. So the people made their way into the city, as I commanded them. But I remained in the field 7 days, as the messenger commanded me, and ate only the flowers of the field in those days, and my food was from the plants. So we have 14 days of eating plants. We had 21 days of eating nothing, and we have a very intriguing story and an incredible cliffhanger. It only gets more exciting, guys. It only gets more exciting because towards the end of this, we have Messiah Yahushua who's coming, and you're going to see the end time battles. You're going to see some stuff that we have never, ever seen. And guys, these are exciting times. It doesn't matter that we're living in fear. It doesn't matter that we're living in terror. It doesn't matter that the wicked are running this place amok. It matters that there is a plan of preservation for the remnant. There is a place for our souls to go, a place of peace, and all we have to do is make it through these times and testing. So guys, be courageous, be strong, read your scriptures, pray with your family, read your scriptures with your family, bring them closer to our Creator, never give up. If you guys have spouses that are not in scriptures, not in Torah, read scriptures with them every night, pray with them every night, help them to help see the proper way to the kingdom. Don't give up on them. Guys, with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I got much love for all of you guys. Be good. Be Kodesh. Much love.